is up, everybody? I'm trying not to come in too loud, because for the past couple episodes, I've been blowing y'all eardrums. So I'm hoping by slowly whispering into y'all ears, I can
You
give
know
you
when I
a sense
told
of
y'all
calm.
to talk and make a
Yeah.
bit? This is not what I expected.
Well, you did ask for, a bit, and we're gonna go full yin yang twins.
Oh, that fucking song is terrible.
Wait till I see your wings. Hey, bitch. I'm gonna tear that birdie up like bang, bang. Beat the birdie up, beat the birdie up. Hey, beat the birdie up, beat the birdie up.
Oh, we're good, by the way.
We're good?
Oh,
Did that work? What I did work?
Yeah. I went and checked it. Everyone came in sounded good.
See, look at that
you picked up
magic.
the
Fucking
yin-yang.
with the
I will
power
say-
of the yin yang twins. Also, I gotta ask you
Is
this. Should I ask you during
terrible.
pre-production? Do you want to be on camera or do you want to have your face holded there?
we can watch. We can put me on camera. It's fine.
Okay, so let me.
I'm feeling good.
Let me put you up on there.
I'm
'cause
feeling good. Let's go.
Your camera's looking a little
Also-
foggy though. Like I was hanging out with you for like November 1st when Sober November broke.
No, it's
I
just
just want to point out, no one calls this sober November.
I do, because I was sober the whole November. It hurt.
Sobtober? No, it doesn't really work that way.
I mean, if I did for October, it'd definitely be Sobtober.
Well, at least you picked a month that wasn't 31 days. So
Also, I don't. People are like, "Oh, how'd you give up weed?" Because Thanksgiving. Well, here's the joy of everyone in your family being grown-ass adults, and most of them in college or have their own lives. Family Thanksgiving get harder. Like we're gonna need like a death in the family to kind of get us all back together at this point. It's sad, but it's true, y'all. One of the old ones got a croak.
Yeah.
that's sad as shit, bro.
Hey, look, sometimes to get the family back together, you need a blood sacrifice of an elder, all right? It's unfortunate, but it's true.
It's true. Honestly, that's why Black people even celebrate Thanksgiving in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
We really don't care about the actual holiday.
And like I said again, just in case you guys need a reminder from last week, Black Fundamental America, recent immigrants from Africa and the Caribbean, you guys are fine. Honestly, most of the time y'all eat chicken anyway, so enjoy y'all chicken. But if y'all got
It's
turkey
better
on
than
the
turkey.
table, if you got the turkey on the table, it's fine. Just don't dress up like pilgrims. We good.
I mean, the turkey is usually fried if it's there, and ham. Gotta have the ham.
I mean, if you want to break it down, they made y'all make the food.
Yeah. Which is all, I saw a really weird theory that's the reason why white people got into super clean living, the whole raw foods, vegan shit, is so that they can keep their classism ahead of, other cultures who use the seasoning that they used to want. Because seasoning, once it became available to everybody and be affordable, they needed a way to make themselves look better than others.
They really had a shit on
I mean,
salt.
Again, that seems
They out here
very.
stunting on Paprika.
It's an interesting theory. I don't know if it's true or not, but
No, I have a way easier theory. That's actually goes into your whole white laziness.
I got another
They
one after
couldn't do
yours.
it. They couldn't make the food the way other people can.
I'm
All right,
going
so
to
I have
disagree with
another
that. Only because I know Southerners that can actually cook really well.
Okay.
I'm not saying that none of them can. I'm
This
saying
particular theory only works for New York City, Miami, Florida, and California. I think they burnt their fucking taste buds with cocaine in the 80s, y'all.
no, this is way before the 80s.
Hear me out.
bro.
Okay.
When all that like no fucking oils, no salts, all those weird diets that like got rid of everything that made it a joy to be a human being, all of a sudden, it came out right around 85, 88, 91. Right when that shit was the purest white you can get it. I'm just saying.
It's an interesting thought.
I go more with the whole white lazy because again, I'm not saying all white people are lazy. That's never the case, but it's a situation where it's like if we can't do it, we're gonna do something we can do. That's why all these raw foods are easier to prep than actually spending the time to actually cook and actually season and do whatever the fuck. Since they couldn't make it taste the way other people could, the jealousy is like, well, now we have to basically be above them by saying that food is bad for you. So it just kind of fits in because there are people that can. So I've only ever had ribs twice in my life. Once was at an actual rib place, which I didn't like, and one was at a fucking buddy of mine place like earlier this fucking year. It was fucking spectacular. If I ever go down to Kansas City, Ruth
Was it
will
pork
fucking
or
show me an
beef?
actual rib place.
Mm-hmm.
so I get to know what it's like for real. But it's like so far I've had
Was
it
it
good.
pork
Adrian in the chat, what's
or
up?
beef?
What's up?
Alan, was that shit pork or beef, son?
Why don't you guess?
I'm gonna say pork just because I want to think you're sitting with me.
No.
I can't
Buddy
be the only
mine-
one.
buddy
I
mine-
can't be the only one in hell by myself. I need
Yes,
company.
you can. I love this guy. He fucking texts me up. He's like, hey man, I know you don't eat pork, so I'm moving the ribs specifically on the side, so you don't have to deal with any of the other stuff. I got you some burgers too, some hot dogs. Don't worry, I didn't ask for any of this shit. He did it all on his own because he just already knew and he got me. So like, I really appreciate that guy.
Oh yeah, I got a place to take you here. I haven't taken Ganja there yet, but when you guys both come, we'll go there. Jack Stack Barbecue. Jack Stack has Crown Prime ribs.
Crown prime ribs, what's that?
It's from the prime rib section of the cow.
Okay.
They're huge.
I'll
I'll send a
Flintstone, bro.
No,
send-
fuck, man.
I'll send a photo to the group chat.
Yeah, you gotta check. You gotta. These are different types of ribs. This
Dude,
is
we're gonna have to
level.
all tackle one.
No. You can take
Nah.
them by yourself. You just
I'm
You
good,
just-
bro.
you just won't want anything else.
Yeah, you have a bread on the side.
me
You want
and
to make a
Weak.
quick sandwich from one.
Yeah.
I kind of want to make a sandwich out of one.
It's great when you do a
7-Eleven, not 7-Eleven. Do we have a 7-Elevens up here? I don't fucking know. Quickie Mart had a rib sandwich back in the day. I could only ever buy it once because the next day it just never came back. It was awesome. So I'm like, I
mean,
like sandwiches.
legit one of my best experience and also like my scariest experience at barbecue place was at the Gates. I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
where.
Oh, Matt Gates' restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Gates'
No.
barbecue. But I got yelled at by the waitress because your boy over here was tripping hard, and I panicked and asked her for the chicken sandwich, and she looks at me and she goes, "We're on this
Yes.
board. Do you see a chicken sandwich?" I was like,
Like, boy, where the fuck do you think we at?
pretty much. And I was just in my head like, "That's board in my head, man."
You're
That's
like,
not the
I'm
first
sorry.
or the last time.
I just
he
ordered a
had to-
whole ass chicken. That's the first time I ever tore up a whole bird of myself. That
That
shit
is
was
the
delicious.
it's not the first or the last time he fucked up dealing with food service people.
Yeah, I ain't living if he ain't killing a wild elk and eating his liver raw.
Wild elk. Where the fuck do you live? Wild elk are a thing.
That sounds like a
That's some Joe Rogan shit right
yeah.
there.
That sounds like a long distance way to catch Lyme disease.
That's a, yeah.
Lyme disease next steps. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cook your meat, kids.
please, whatever you do,
Like-
please cook
Like
your meat.
Please cook
okay,
your
sorry,
meat.
this is the most random tangent, but everyone's always like, why do we live so long nowadays? Why does like the average life expectancy gone up to? Oh, that shit looks really good. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I gotta get some good sauce there, or what looks like the like
Oh,
goo or
those are-
beans of the dude's innards.
No, those are baked beans next to it.
good.
They come with it. So you get that if you get it as an appetizer, it comes with 2 sauces. The spicy
Oh.
sauce and the regular sauce.
Usually we don't do
original.
this, y'all, but we're about to give y'all the fucking munchies. Give me a second.
Meanwhile, while I talk about actually, pull
Oh
up
no,
the
if you're gonna do
image.
that, use this one. If you're gonna do
Oh
that.
shit, Gene in the chat. What's good, buddy? What's good?
Hey, what's up, Gene? So
Because a lot of y'all that are watching, if y'all don't know, some of the folks that are in the chat
fries.
with y'all are toasties. They fuck around with that awesome barbecue, but
they ain't been in the right place yet.
I'll
They
be
ain't been to
real.
the
I
right
went to Terry
places.
Black's and that's when I had brisket.
They ain't been in the right
ribs
place
in
yet.
my
We're
day.
not gonna tell them where. We're not gonna tell them where to go. They'll figure it out if they know me. Otherwise, we're not talking about that.
look at that. Look at
Here
that
you
shit.
go. He about to take
Okay,
this shit full size.
So I
Fuck, I
actually,
just took
I'm glad you
Just
brought that up.
fucking take up the whole screen and shit.
too.
Oh, 100%, 100%. So I'm glad you brought that up. So something that I always see on the internet, it's like, oh, why do we live so long? Like as humans, like why is the average life expectancy upwards in like the 70s and the 80s? Even though back like fucking even 100 years ago, people did not live as long, or again, hundreds of years ago, people didn't live past 30. Even like 30 was seen as a long life. Now we can easily triple. People living to 120. It's kind of because we cook our food. That is actually one of the main reasons, because a lot of bacteria that actually lives in the blood of animals, much like us, lives in the bodies. When people were eating that raw back, before they were cooking, they would just, again, someone's like, oh, eat a raw fucking elk, whatever the fuck. It's like, and God's like, oh, it's cooked with Lyme disease. Yeah, that's kind of why people were taken out a lot.
So you mean we shouldn't listen to Liver King?
No, we shouldn't. In fact, Liver King is on crack, probably because his monthly bills would assume so. But
I mean, he's not on crack, but since you brought it up,
He's on everything else though.
are we sure crack isn't part of it?
he done fucked up and lied. He is on steroids, Alan.
Man, I'm sorry. I'll be real. I'm not like this big workout guy. I've only recently started working out. I looked at that man. I'm like, that's steroids. Like, you can just look at someone and go, like, you look at The Rock, you're like, that feels almost like if you told me Rock was doing steroids, But as soon as I saw Liver King, I'm like, that man's juicing. Like, there's no way you're getting that kind of muscle definition naturally. It's just not how that's working.
He's got more juice in him than the juicy one.
Yeah, for me, the thing was like, I saw his TikToks before he became like the lying cheat that he is. But I would look at him like, okay, so he's saying that he gets this by just eating animal liver as his meal raw.
No.
Like, I was like, there's no way. I used honestly Dwayne Johnson as a barometer. Like, we know what The Rock's workout schedule is. He said before that he has used TRT before because he's older and obviously he needs the testosterone back. But he's never taken straight up steroids.
No, because that'll fuck. Yeah,
it'll fuck your body up. Like, for as long as he's had this physique, yeah.
His shit
and so then I started,
yeah.
So then I started asking my friends that are powerlifters. I started asking my friends that are bodybuilders and my ones that are athletic trainers. I'm like, is there any way he could do this? And there's just no. It's like he's shooting something. Turns out he's shooting at everything. He's shooting at everything. And I'm sure crack cocaine is in there too.
Hennessy,
what the fuck?
Cocaine, meth, ecstasy, weed.
Yeah. So the thing about like the testosterone supplements versus actual straight up steroids is a very different chemical makeup. Whereas just getting a supplement is a situation where it's like you're just producing a little bit. You're giving your body a little bit extra. You're not necessarily supplementally replacing it. That's why your whole balls get smaller when you're taking in that, because you're essentially injecting it directly subcutaneously into your fucking muscles. So your body doesn't necessarily need to produce it. Where if you're taking it through supplement, you're actually absorbing it through the blood like you normally would. Which is why protein supplements are, like, as long as you're getting a good brand, aren't necessarily bad for you, because the fact that you're ingesting it versus injecting it or any of the other methods that would really fuck up your fucking body. But you can see just looking at them, just basically looking at it compared to other people that work out, it's like there's artificial versus natural. It's like back in the fucking 80s where you could see who had a breast implant. You could see the difference between regular large breasts and artificially large breasts.
And that's right, ladies. You too can up your game by getting the Illuminati branded protein straight from Ali Shekazine, the Ganja Guru, or the This Wonder.
And I mean, honestly, once we get the kinks worked out,
how you doing, lady?
And don't worry,
we're gonna have the Mr. Stud available for you fellas that are insecure about your penis size.
All you gotta do is work it just a little bit.
And this time, guys, we'll actually fill it up past halfway. So you get the fucking brim. I know, new technology here. We're fucking breaking the mold. Fucking bullshit. I bought some fucking protein supplement. I'm like, oh, okay, this is whatever said on there. I open up, it's like fucking Lay's fucking potato chip bag. It was like half empty. I'm like, the fuck? I didn't have a scale to fucking test that shit out. That shit made me so goddamn mad.
I was probably.
You know what the craziest part about all this is? If he didn't lie and say he was all natural, no one would have cared.
Nope.
If he just didn't say anything about being natural, no one would care.
Yeah, because even if you take it from the raw liver, it's like, look, liver has a lot of nutrients, which is why if you're ever in a survival situation, that should be one of the first things you can look for if you're not able to find regular food, because it will keep you going. But it's not a situation where you can basically really bodybuild like that. Because again, to bring up the Rock as an example, because that man is like mathematically explained his bullshit. You know how much calories that man eats a day? That's like the Flash level of like fucking thousands of calories.
That's
like
not even counting the amount of pussy.
It's like 10,000. Like, is it 10,000 calories? Some crazy bullshit.
It's up there, yeah.
You know, but it's like, and he's like showing like his entire rotisserie chickens of what he has to fucking eat throughout the day.
His day is basically lift, then eat, then lift, then eat again, then lift again, then eat again, sleep, read lines, eat, then work out again, then lift some more.
I mean, he has to do it at a certain point.
I mean,
no, he clearly does. Like, he clearly does.
He wouldn't keep going, but again, it's his brand, and at the end of the day, it helps being a multi-billionaire that, you know, always fucking makes like fucking almost $1 billion movie every time he fucking does something. So it's like he can clearly afford the lifestyle.
True. That's what I forget which guy said that. One of the comedic guys got buffed up for a movie, and he pretty much said that because they were all asking him like, "Hey, how were you able to accomplish this, lose all this weight, and like get the physique you were?"
Not Dev Patel. Shit. It's the guy who did it for.
Been Dave Patel. Was he the Indian actor, right?
Was it Dev Patel? I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't him. It wasn't any guy. It was some white dude. But he said that it was the main reason he was able to pull his off because he's rich and he has people that can prepare foods.
Oh, it might have been either Chris Pratt or it was Ant-Man.
It was probably Ant-Man.
Are you talking about Paul Rudd? No.
Yeah, that's probably
Paul Rudd. Yeah. Because I could have sworn Dave Patel said the same thing. It's because he's rich or he's able to.
But my question: why is this dude even like big at all? Like in terms of TikTok, was he like Ryan the Andrew Tate high or some shit?
He's again a lot of body.
It's Kamal Nanjiani is actually the one that did it.
Oh, okay.
Because he got super buff for the Eternals.
He was barely in that.
Oh, my bad. I was confused. Yeah, that's who I meant, but I was just confusing names because I'm an asshole.
No, because I know like Dev Patel worked out for some movie and I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely because when he worked out for Eternals, he worked out for Eternals, and I guess it helped a little, but it's not like he really did it. Man, that movie's so disappointing.
Yeah.
But the reason why this guy's big is like there are a lot of big bodybuilders out there. Like TikTok is a great.
The Green Knight. It's the one he got buff for the Green Knight.
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, it's gonna drive me crazy if I don't figure it out. But it's the Green Knight.
Yeah. But yeah, bodybuilders. Yeah, there's a lot. TikTok has been huge for the bodybuilder thing because sometimes people all they need is a quick fucking little bit of information here and there, and they see someone that big, it means success.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they're just gaining his fucking thing. And but again, it's just like y'all. This isn't the fucking 70s anymore. You can't just juice yourself up. Like this reminds me of fucking Pain and Gain, where fucking Anthony Mackie's character was juicing himself up so much he had erectile dysfunction.
He had to get penis surgery.
I looked up what not Dev. Looked up Kamal Nanjiani's look for the Eternals. He did get fucking jacked.
Oh, he was ridiculous, and he has pretty good action scenes. He's one of the better people that did his action scenes. I just wish the movie had more going on for anybody.
Yeah, this was this. But no, I mean, you guys both make good points about Liver King. Yeah. It is preying on the young men lost thing that again groups like Fresh and Fit prey on. Andrew Tate preys on. And yeah, we kind of need to give them an alternative. I don't think people understand how bad this will go if we continue to not give these men an alternative, healthy way of adjusting to the new world. Which is why we've begun the Illuminati Dating Agency. Where we teach your young men how to be.
Okay, actually, continue.
Our trained professional physicians that are specialized in massage therapy, all types of restorative art will teach your son or daughter, if perhaps they swing that way, how to talk to women for $500 an hour.
Welcome to we're going to send it to these re-education camps.
That's
one, as we like to call it, our new show, Progressively Toxic.
That's also not bad.
Oh,
I gotta stop it.
His eyes like, we could probably do this, but we would turn to complete assholes if we do this.
As the person that helps a lot with the production side, I really gotta stop telling you guys your crazy ideas are good because you're just gonna keep coming up with crazier ideas.
Progressively Toxic Tuesdays. You know why.
And when you come to Progressively Toxic Tuesdays, funny enough, we'll actually teach you how not to be afraid of gay people. And the Senate passes the
because there's nothing wrong. Yeah,
protection for the same-sex marriage. So we're still doing this.
Okay,
listen, man.
This is a good thing.
I know it's a good thing, but we're still doing this,
bro. Like, how many months has it been since they got rid of Roe v. Wade? Like, you gotta ask.
Oh my god.
See, Gene's on Progressively Toxic. See, we're right now. Exactly, Ollie. Yeah. But no, seriously, this has to be done. And I told you a little bit about why before.
It should have been done with Roe v. Wade.
Well, but I think that's next. Mm-hmm. Because here's the thing. You need the one that's more easily defendable to get a challenge so that you can bring the rest of the stuff in. And I mean, I hate to call it a playbook, but it's kind of very clear they're going to use this to make 2024 very difficult for Republicans. They're going to have to openly say they hate gay people. Then they're going to have to say they hate abortion. Then they're going to have to openly say they hate black people. They're going to literally just run these between now and 2024.
You say that
just
like
a s-
there's not like a good 50% of them that's not itching
was
just to
gonna
get
say,
on the
Ruth,
mic and say
But
that shit
here's the-
loud as possible.
Here's the problem: the Republicans hold power by most people not paying attention to the hateful things they say. When you have to back start stating these things over again, the average person, the average suburban white person,
It also doesn't
does
help when
not
they
ca-
start like seeing like people they actually see as like identified ultra right, like the Nick Fuentes whole shenanigans that happened,
exactly.
and the Milo.
Okay, but counterpoint, you underestimate the sheer stupidity of most Republican candidates.
No,
So that
they're going to
they-
embrace saying the hateful things. That's the point. They don't realize they're walking into a trap.
Oh yeah, that's
This is not a good position to be in for them.
Didn't one of the fucking Republican fucking constituents actually run with bringing slavery back and
Shit,
won?
the one in Georgia right now said, "Fuck them kids."
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's the thing.
no went down to
do
Georgia,
this-
and I guess he fucking won the goddamn
when-
fiddle contest.
When you do this in a midterm election, you have a chance of still winning. You do this in a presidential year where people are actually paying attention.
Oh yeah, fair enough. And speaking of paying attention, follow the Illuminati Podcast as we will be doing that shit live
Yeah.
for the first time. It's actually the reason we started doing it on Twitch, because we're gonna be following the fucking polls and
We might even
showing
do
you
a
guys
live
that-
show for January 6th to see how that goes.
Oh, but dude, I'm gonna take work off just so I can watch the news. Because if y'all thought, because they failed last time, like, oh, don't worry, the Republicans come right back in. If they lose again, like Biden's not gonna run twice. He's not running twice. But if Democrats win again, oh, they'll lose their goddamn fucking minds because they didn't learn their lesson. And we know why? Because, like, did anyone really get arrested?
Yeah, a lot of people are
They're,
getting arrested.
they're finally being arrested and put in jail. But yeah,
Okay, but still, like, I'm assuming a lot of them not in the
I feel like it should have all been on trade, on trial for being traitors. But that's me.
Yeah, we
That's
don't hate
our
traitors
country's
anymore,
been
but-
fucking up that shit since Reconstruction. Yeah, I said it.
Exactly.
I said it. We
Okay.
should have hung those
And I
Confederate
agree with
generals.
you.
We don't hang traitors anymore.
We forgive our brothers' bullshit. Should have shot
No,
them all like the Germans.
No, we send them to make Call of Duty maps.
The proud daughter of the
No,
Confederacies. You mean
we give them
whores
their
of
own
the
social
traitors.
media. We give them their own social media platforms. You've heard of True Social, right?
Wait, which one is that? Is that the parlor one or is that another one?
That's the one that's going to die in a few
Both.
months once they realize Trump's back on Twitter.
Yeah.
Or until he gets banned.
For a swastika? Possibly.
Bro,
Nah.
we're not gonna bring it up because we're fucking done with that shit. But Homeboy gets banned within like a week of like getting back on Twitter. Fucking ridiculous.
And then it starts publishing DMs with a conversation with Twitter's owner, who we also won't be saying the name of. Welcome back, people.
Yes, welcome back to Mad World, or is it
I
Real
can see it
World?
now. But isn't everyone
Real
talking about
world.
Kanye? Well, we're not everyone. We don't give a fuck about that anymore. We touched it when it was
Real,
boiling to the surface. Now that it's gone full Richard Spencer.
I want to talk about this actually, because this bill
Mhm.
is perfect. You make Republicans in Congress, both House and Senate, have to actually defend their position openly. Then you have a Supreme Court challenge available because obviously somebody's going to try and sue over this.
Mhm.
So now you can actually get this codified, and the Supreme Court now has to
Yeah.
deal with Congress making a law specifically protecting privacy rights, because that's what this is. And so now you have an easy way to overturn Roe v. Wade in one go if they want to, or to give backup to bolster every other privacy right based law we have in the books: same-sex marriage, interracial marriage, affirmative action, voting rights acts, obviously abortion, and several other things. Because here's the thing: if this goes down, people, I know there's some Republicans that listen to our show still.
there
I
are.
know
Yeah.
there are actually a bunch of them. I know that you are listening, waiting for me to give you some bait to show you where you can get through this without approving of it. I'm gonna tell you this real simply. If you don't back this law, they're coming for your guns. And I don't mean that lightly. Your privacy right, your right to have within your home whatever you want, to carry on your person, whatever you want, is the inherent basis to the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms as an individual person and not as part of and a regulated militia. It has always been decided on that point. You better back this, or your guns are next. And I'm dead serious. If the government doesn't have to respect privacy laws, that means they can literally take your guns. So I suggest you get on the right side of this before it gets way worse. That's all I got on it. I'll let y'all have the final comments.
I have nothing else to say. Look, Cuba passed the most extensive equal rights act in the world. I think it's about time we could at least get like same-sex marriage put on the fucking books, right? I mean, it's not that fucking hard of a request by the population of the citizenry of the United States. So I really have nothing else to add except, Alan, our title's wrong.
It didn't save. I just realized that right now. Don't worry.
You really like FIFA fucking us in the ass with that soccer ball sized dick, huh?
I'll give you like fucking 30 seconds.
Fun fact, real quick, while he does that, and because we pretty much don't got much to touch on this, because y'all, this is great, this is progressive. Most of our audience supports it. Hell, I would even say some of the Republicans that are on our that watch our show was supported either through an individual rights initiative or the fact that Rufus brought up with the whole like, hey, better do this to protect your guns. But yeah, so this past week, FIFA fucked us in the ass, y'all. We're trying to get better at algorithm. We're trying to get better at posting stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen the new thumbnails, all the stuff that we're trying to do to give our show a brand new
can we show the current thumbnail for this episode?
Let's see.
That will be showing up on the live stream tomorrow.
See, exactly. So one of the things that we did was really trying to get on the tags, and unfortunately, now that we're starting to get a little bit more noticed, that also means we're starting to get hit with all types of copyright strikes and all kinds of other shit. So we got to join the halls of other great political shows such as the Breaking Points and the Young Turks as people who are just trying to bring the news and give their comment about the news who got fucked by FIFA. Really fucked by FIFA.
Everybody got hit.
Everybody.
Yeah. It's weird because because they like text us up and say, oh shit, shit got fucked up, or like,
my favorite was Alan. He was messaging us, yo man, did we show something? It was this? I was like, oh no, as a FIFA.
I didn't think it hit everybody.
No, that's just them being assholes, bro. Welcome to the world, baby.
Yeah. And Gotcha, do you have the image for today? This stream's thumbnail ready? Because I could have sworn I sent it to you.
Yes, I did. Why do you want it? Like, do you want
he wants to show it.
Oh, there you go.
We give it to you, the people.
Yes, dude. Exactly. Yeah, check this out. So basically, how it's gonna work from now on is this thumbnail will be for the the stream that will be re-uploaded onto the YouTube tomorrow.
Hold on a sec. You know what I just realized?
What's up?
This bitch looks like a D20.
It's a triangle. So
all I see is dices in my head now.
Yeah, you've been playing Cyberpunk too goddamn much. But for people that are wondering how the new format's gonna go, so you'll be seeing this on the YouTube stream that will go the next day. So in case you missed this stream, but if you're listening to this, or if you're listening to this now live, you don't have to worry about it. If you're listening to my voice afterwards, this is why you're seeing this before the actual thing starts. But we're also going to have shorter form content for you guys as well. We're going to start with the 5-minute shorts when we talk about specific stories. We're also going to try to have actually minute shorts so we can start putting that shit on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok and all that stuff. So we're starting to actually really extend our brand and start doing what the kids are doing, which is short form content. Because
and then Alan's feet pics on OnlyFans. We're hitting.
Please never say what the kids are doing ever again.
I will say that constantly.
Please.
That actually brings up a good segue to our next story. Our boy Matt Gaetz. I got Alan.
Damn it.
I got you on camera doing that.
Damn, I should not have laughed that part of it.
Oh man, it's so great watching the replay too. So everybody knows that Matt Gaetz' buddy was finally hauled into court for a lot of crimes, not the least of which was trafficking minors for sex.
I just gotta tell y'all, if you have a friend on Vimeo and he's talking to another friend and he's sending any of these emojis, there might be something up. Lollipops, little girl emojis, and teddy bears. Just there's something sus going on. You should call the authorities.
Yeah, if you know anyone past the age of like fucking 12 that's sending that shit.
Yeah. Seriously, I've never wanted to check his hard drive so loud in my life.
The FBI agreed.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So he pleaded guilty because this is Joel Greenberg. He pleaded guilty because they had him on way more than I think he ended up pleading to. I think it was a total of like 6 or 7 counts.
Nasty motherfucker.
They had him initially on like 12. I can't tell you how like disturbing this is, because the reason they caught him is that he was messaging Gates on his work computer.
Okay.
When Gates was working for the county.
Those are all monitored all
Yeah.
over the place.
But he pleaded guilty. He, of course, gave that half-assed apology that everybody else gives. I'm really sorry I got caught.
I now know the mistakes of my ways, and I'm working to get better, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, basically he was paying to have these young girls have sex with him and other guys. Now, there's no proof yet that Gates was one of the guys, but I mean, that's one of the questions and why Gates is under investigation currently. So, yeah, I mean, I would tell you to, hide your daughters and sons from, men, but really just to hide your daughters and sons from white guys over the age of 30.
Yeah, that seems to be a pretty good one.
That includes governors of Florida.
Which, ironically, hasn't changed since the 70s.
Yeah, keep your sons and daughters just out of Florida.
Don't let your daughters and sons to grow up to be frats. Unless
Probably
it's a different type of
California
fraternity. You know what I'm talking about.
Too. That's just y'all just come to Canada.
We can't.
Why not?
It's too cold.
It's not that much colder than Colorado.
Yeah, y'all, no. Y'all cold is a whole nother level. Like right now it's 45. What is it right now for you? No lie.
Let me check.
Check that shit.
4 degrees, so
yeah, fuck you.
Like
fuck you in the ass.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
We ain't doing that shit at all.
Y'all, you better get used to it. We got like 5 years left of this shit.
So what? The nuclear Armageddon that we don't have to deal with winter for another 2 weeks?
No, I mean, no, this isn't Groundhog's Day. I'm talking about the global warming is gonna fuck us up, so we're not gonna have winter anymore. Because I want to point out something about winter. There's nothing on this planet that actually causes winter. Nothing on this planet actually facilitates the season of winter. It is simply our place in the solar system when we revolve around the sun, where we're actually further away during this point of the year and we're closer near the summer, which means that the warmer it gets in the winter, the hotter it's going to get in the summer because of just where we are. And global warming is just going to make that problem way fucking worse.
So what you're saying is if we all get out and push, we can have permanent summer.
You don't want to push towards because no, not at all. Which is actually the entirety of the plan in Futurama to solve global warming was to push the Earth away.
Yeah.
Which is hilariously actually a solution, but you would never be able to move it unless you're Superman.
Also, wouldn't that fuck up this rotation?
Probably.
No, not really.
What if we used a Dyson sphere?
You'd have to build one around the sun, so you'd have to have more material than the entire solar system has.
For the people who are now wondering why they're talking about Futurama, Dyson spheres, and other stuff that doesn't revolve around Matt Gaetz, how much more do you want us to talk about this pedophile?
Like, seriously, we don't want to talk about him.
This ain't the Young Turks. He ain't gonna be a guest on our show. What the fuck you think?
I want to hear about Matt Gaetz, not the last Star Trek episode.
I mean, speaking of terrible sci-fi, Alan. By the way, thank you. By the way,
we're talking about SpaceX.
No, we're talking about terminating the Constitution.
I knew he was going to go here. I knew he was going to go here.
So he's been giving me great segues. I got to take him, Rufus.
Like I knew this segue was coming. Like I
actually wasn't quite sure where this was going, but
I knew.
So he wants the termination so he can be president.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Mussolini. Like
no, Mussolini was at least given his power by the king at the time.
Yeah,
I think that's what he wants. He's like, fucking, hey, King Charles, fucking get your boys.
He's oh my god, he already did his push.
Yeah.
When's he gonna get his book, Mein Kampf? How far are we from that?
It's already called. It's called Art of the Deal.
I would say he already has his book. It's called The Art of the Deal.
Oh my god.
The question is, when he loses, is he going to go off to Argentina?
I look. In 2020, Ruthless, we really got close to the bunker ending route. I think if we try again, if we reload our save, right, and we try again harder, we might get the bunker ending.
If we're reloading our save,
the problem is you didn't quick save, so it's not going to work.
If we go, if we were loading our save, we're not going back to 2020.
Yeah, we're going back to 2016.
We're saving Harambe.
No, we're going back to 2000.
I'm not going back to 2000s. Fuck that.
You keep
we're going
yelling,
back to 2000.
We're going to 85 and solving this.
Stop trying to get me to go back to the fucking late 90s or 2000s.
No,
I'm never going back.
We're going to 2000 so we can make sure that George Bush doesn't become president. Because all this happens because of W.
Yeah, but if 9/11 ever happens, we never get Twilight.
Like I said, we're going back to 2000 to stop.
By the way, that is actually real.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so I recently discovered this on a podcast. 9/11 is directly responsible for the creation of 50 Shades of Grey. The reason that is because 9/11 is the My Chemical Romance's first song is about 9/11. Twilight's direct inspiration is from My Chemical Romance, and 50 Shades of Grey is inspired by Twilight. So
it's literally a Twilight fan fiction that was repurposed into an actual book.
All right, y'all. So as a My Chemical Romance fan, I apologize for the book series that was Twilight. I did not think when I was listening to Gerard Way sing his beautiful vocals that this was going to turn into this. All right, I apologize. Dear.
You should. Look,
and in my defense, these alternative girls that listen to pop and 80 Cent and shit, they're kind of cute. So you can't blame me there. All right, shit. What you want from me?
I can. There's only 2 good My Chemical Romance songs. Yeah, I said it.
I'll give him
pause
3.
the podcast real quick. Alan's about to disappear from the show, y'all.
I'll give him 3.
He might ask me like, oh god, no.
No. You think it's Aspie? Emmett 10. I'm taking him out like Trotsky. And this podcast just ends after that. No, but all right, Rufus, can you do this?
No.
You're
right?
Canadian. I don't know what you're allowed to do up there.
Like I have to believe he can't.
I mean, what's the worst things I could say?
No.
Things are better if I stay. So long and good night.
My nails, they're suddenly becoming paint black. My hair has turned to Robert Smith. Ruthless help. I suddenly got white face on like the Joker.
Welcome to the Black Parade.
Man.
Shut up, you.
That's what I say. Well, famous last words and Welcome to the Black Parade are the only.
You can't portray me with all these segues.
No.
And stab me in the back like that.
Quite easily.
It's okay. It's okay. I like Coheed and Cambria. It's okay.
He's in the load.
But for real, like this is like how far are we from this man getting charged?
I don't know, because every time we think it's going to be finished and that they're done with the investigation, they find more stuff that he's done to add to the indictments. Like at this point, they're going to arrest him during 2024, during like one of the Republican debates. And I'm just going to get to laugh my ass off as they have like 200 charges. Yeah.
This man, could you imagine this man wins? And he's like, do you solemnly swear to uphold the House of the United States? Though? Get him! As he just gets handcuffed during the inauguration.
There's nothing against him running from prison.
Yes, there is.
Is there?
Yeah.
What? Because I always heard that you could.
No, you can't run while you're under indictment for seditious acts. So if
will they stop him though?
Yeah.
I don't know, man, because it's like this man has done a lot of bullshit where like nothing seems to stick. No one seems to be able to stop him. I don't know.
It's not that no one seems to stop him. What it is and I said this a second ago. It's every time they're about to like, all right, we're done. Something else is found out during the investigation. Again, they would have arrested him after January 6th, but then they found out he'd taken all the documents. So they had to prove that and investigate that. Merrick Garland is literally just pulling up a long list of, hey, let me make sure I have every I dotted, every T crossed. And then we find out there are more I's and T's. It's just, it's like a clown car of indictments at this point.
Oh, it's a fucking Russian doll.
At least
Just
Ruthless,
keeps
if I ever
getting-
get in
every
trouble,
time
you're
you
never going to
get
deal
one
with this
more,
list of
more and more.
indictments.
Yeah, I would love to just go in the DOJ office just so I could see between them and Western District of New York, just to see all the indictments they have ready for them. Because it's got to be in the we're at least in the 50s or 60s at this point.
Look, there's an entire building dedicated to this one man.
Yeah. And then his son just keeps making it worse. His sons make it worse.
Oh God, his sons are so fucking stupid.
They just tell on him even more. That's why I'm like, this is not going to be over until 24 because they keep finding more stuff.
My favorite
Oh,
was when they were on
what's Ivanka
Fox
doing
News.
right
They're
now?
like, so your father had to get rid of all his businesses, right? Oh no, he still helps us run it.
Yeah. Ivanka's been slowly hanging out to dry. I kind of feel like this is her power play. Like she might secretly be Cersei Lannister.
Good. Hopefully, he doesn't end it
And
this
She's
way.
like, whatever's left of this legacy, I'm taking it.
Like, my name is fucking Trump, and until I change that shit, she's like, fuck it. He's gonna die or go to fucking prison. She
Well,
could just, yeah.
I said this before. Does it feel like he's trying to break up her and her husband?
Yes.
I don't know.
He literally invited. All right, I hate. Yeah, I'm
We're
bringing
here.
him up, but it got
Say
to
it.
this point. He
You might as well
literally
say it.
invited Kanye West to his place for Thanksgiving, who has been openly talking shit about Jared Kushner, both anti-Semitic and the usual
And-
stuff,
Yeah, but it's
and-
Jared Kushner, though. Who gives a shit what he thinks?
and talked about how he betrayed Trump.
And he's married to Ivanka. I don't know whether he's trying to break him up so that he can have somebody he likes more dating his daughter, or he's breaking him up because he wants to date his daughter. This is
I mean, it's always gonna be both.
They
but
both
I don't
sound like
think-
solid reasons for this Cheeto.
I still think that maybe unless he's really into incest or that's not actually his biological daughter, he just has
What-
to lie about it.
what if he's actually into incest though? What if this has always been the thing?
I mean, he is rich and white, so there's always that chance.
I mean, he did
Well,
basically
white.
handpick her husband as well. So
I don't necessarily say rich because I think they finally are getting his fucking tax returns after fucking years of him not fucking giving it. So he might not actually be rich. He might be just a billionaire, not billionaire rich. He might be just wealthy posing, whereas he has a lot of assets, but he's actually broke as shit. But because of his name and his prowess, much like the guy who owned Twitter, who is really a fucking idiot, but he managed to bluster his way into a fucking $1 billion. It seems like the same way with Trump.
It
where he
also
might
helps
actually
when
be massively in debt.
your father's a rich, filthy boar that owns, emerald mines and shit.
Yep, apartheid.
Remember, chanting death to the Boers is not a hate crime in South Africa, nor is it viewed here at the Illuminati Podcast.
Look, we can't legally say that. So
And on the South African courts already have said that's not a slur. That's their
Cool.
country. I stand by their ruling.
I stand by
and
their
if we were in
sovereignty.
South Africa, that'd be great, but we're not.
we recognize the sovereignty of South Africa.
Yep.
Just stop.
If they say
stop
that
encouraging it.
if they say it's historically correct to chant "kill the Boers," we too stand by that here at the Illuminati Podcast.
No. Not because I'm siding with the Boers, because I don't want any more trouble. With
I
this
don't
motherfucker.
want any more trouble.
Fuck, we can't be enemies with everybody.
Watch me.
Fuck.
The Soviet Union did it for 60
You
years.
learned
I can
nothing
do
from
it.
Napoleon.
Oh man.
Even their friends hate their guts.
That's what I mean, bro. Can't fight everybody. It's fucking Eminem rap beefing everybody in the fucking 90s, bro. You gotta have one ally, man.
Who was the one that got shot? He made a song about.
What?
I'm trying
What?
to remember.
What are you talking about?
Toy Soldiers. The one song Toy
Oh,
Soldiers.
Toy
Oh,
Soldiers.
proof.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Proof.
Proof.
No, he did that before Proof died, and then Proof died in the same way that it was a weird fucking thing, man.
So
Yeah.
we can't play. You can't. That's why y'all sometimes can't play around with death and shit, y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, in his defense, there's a lot of fucking rap beef. He's basically almost talking about the idea of what happened with fucking Biggie and Tupac, where the rap beefs killed them.
Speaking of kill them,
Oh shit, hit him up.
yeah, Railroad Workers United. They got hit up by the fucking legislation system today. Got told to go back
Yeah.
to work. You ain't striking over shit.
I don't know how long that's gonna hold up, to be honest with you.
Wait, so the railroad workers are striking?
No, they're not striking. Matter of fact, they're. Well, y'all, welcome to the Illuminati Podcast, where we teach you about labor laws.
Yeah.
So, Rufus, how much do you know about the Taft-Hartley Act?
Not a ton, but I know enough.
Well, due to the big railroad strike that happened, I think in the 30s or 40s, the federal government, with business owners of the railroads, came up with this idea to basically kneecap any type of organization for the railroad workers. Their union represents them. It's just not a strong union due to the Taft-Hartley Act, which restricts their ability to go on strikes, their ability to negotiate, their ability to organize on certain issues, and as well
the
as
reasoning is because the railroad is so fundamentally necessary to the function of the country that it affects national security, whether or not they're able to be on the job. And so,
because that also means military supplies, all types of that stuff can't move either.
Yeah. It's kind of the same way that the air traffic controllers work in the U.S.
We know what Reagan did to them in the 80s.
Yeah, they can strike, but they can only take things so far.
Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, one of the biggest things is they're not allowed to do political strikes, and they're not allowed to participate in wildcat strikes. And people are like, well, fuck it. Why? You know, what is it? What happens if I do a wildcat strike? You know, fuck the government, ganja. I'm a wild anarchist, bro. Cynicalism for life. Well, my little syndicist friend, your union's asset will be seized by the federal government. All your union head organizers would now be charged with a bunch of things, including possibly sedition, depending on how far this strike went. And God help you if there's any radical left-wing organizations aiding you in this effort, because they got shit on the books for that too.
Mm-hmm.
So, calling a wildcat strike for the railroad workers is not a simple thing like tweeting on Twitter. Calling the Democrat parties the betrayers of the working class, and anyone who's just trying to get the half-ass compromise passed with the 7 days of sickness instead of the full 14 they were asking for. But Rufus, Alan, I want you to take it because I'm about to spank the left for this one.
Yeah, this got out of control very quickly. For people that don't know, this strike is really about having paid sick leave. Yes, this is literally so they can have any PTO, not a bunch of PTO. We're not talking about months of PTO. Just, hey,
14
can I not have to work?
They're asking for.
Yeah, they're asking for 14 days, and can I not have to work 7 days straight? Can I please have a regular damn work week? That's it. Now you might be wondering, well, why do they have to work so many hours? Because the railroads have decided that their way of making even bigger profits is to fire half of the staff.
Mm-hmm.
So your railroads are being staffed at 50%. If you want to know why, despite the fact that we've basically recovered population-wise from COVID in the U.S., but haven't recovered as far as costs, and inflation is through the fucking roof, it's because half the people that actually work on the railroad right now are either sitting at home or doing other jobs. When you don't have enough truckers, when you don't have enough railroad workers, things take a lot longer to get to you. And when that happens, it's more expensive to get products. Welcome to ACAB Week.
Stage of history.
Welcome back to the stage of history.
The best part and only good part of Soul Calibur franchise.
Remember, ACAB includes the president.
No, Maxi's the best part of Soul Calibur. Shout out to all my Maxi players.
Nah. Also, the president's not a cop.
Yeah, he is.
Actually.
Is he?
Yeah.
Does that count? Obviously, ACAB. Fuck the president, but like, is that really?
He's a cop. He's the leader of the armed forces.
He is literally the enforcement arm of the federal government. He is the reason that we have federal agencies that enforce the law. He is literally a cop.
Okay.
He's the top cop.
He's
the cop's cop.
That's why the FBI.
He watches the Watchmen. He watches the Watchmen.
Nah. I feel like he falls asleep.
Do it, Alan. Do it. Yeah, you would definitely be Dr. Manhattan, but somehow you kept the long hair.
Oh, I love the fucking Watchmen TV show where they're like, where he dresses. Sorry, I'm dying. If you're wondering why my voice sounds so hoarse or frog or whatever the fuck animal, it's because I'm still fighting off a cold. So my nose is still running and I'm still coughing like a motherfucker.
And he refuses to take my tactic of fighting colds. What I do
Refuse to what?
what I do to fight colds is just abuse NyQuil for 4 days, and then I'm fine.
Oh no, I've been doing that shit. I just don't do NyQuil or Dayquil. I have fucking cough medicine and bullshit there.
Exactly. You
I
need the
tried
NyQuil.
to send him some codeine. He was like, "No, ganja, that's illegal." And I was like, "You're right." And then I surrendered to the proper authorities, so I wouldn't go to trouble.
The funny thing is, it's not
exactly.
illegal everywhere. It's just illegal in certain states.
True.
I asked because I was not feeling well those first days. I called my doctor. I was like, "Yo, what can I take for this other than codeine?"
I'm not beefing with you, Chris.
And he was like, "You can take codeine."
No, because like he's like, I don't want to hear you. I've been fighting coughing for 7 damn weeks. I'm like, I don't want to fight you, bro. I said I'm fighting off a cold. What?
He's like, I'm already fighting my body. I don't need to take on another body.
You know, bro. Like I'm barely back. The worst part is I had to work too, because if like there was too much bullshit going on at work, and I asked my boss for a raise. So to bring it right back to this goddamn fucking situation, which is the biggest thing in the world, where it's like, yeah, it's a awful situation that they're in, but the point of pride, at least what I personally feel, is that you're seeing a lot of this happening the last year, where between Starbucks and a lot of stuff that the guys have been telling me what's been happening in the places he's been looking at, where people have been striking and forming unions and actually like power to the people, power to the working class, has been really, really good, and I hope it works out for them.
That's my line. I'll kill you.
I'm dying.
That's what I'm doing right now. Force choking. How dare you steal my bit?
Yeah, I find you like a bit disturbing. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, you start to see the situation, and it's like, if this happens, it happening once somewhere on, I know that there's a mass worker protest in India. And it's like, yeah, that's great. That's happening across the way. The moment it starts happening multiple times in America, or at least in North America, you're going to start to see that spread and spread and spread. It's like, yeah, the railroad workers, like, none of the truckers keep the fucking country alive. So you better pay them what they need or hire the people necessary, because it's stressful to do these jobs, especially when you know if you take 1 day off, like, you know, all this shit will fall the fuck apart. It's like, yeah, pay them more and get more people. So guess what? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much you get paid. People want to go home to their family at some fucking point. People want to enjoy the money they're making, if they are making that much fucking money. So people want to enjoy their fucking lives, because that's what makes people want to go back to fucking work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, it doesn't matter if you're making $1 million a week. If you fucking are working 96 hours, you're not going to enjoy it.
Exactly.
Life's short, y'all. You don't know when your ticket's up. You could have fucking the next 10 days or the next 100 years. Don't know. So if you can, and I know I'm literally contradicting myself, knowing that I still went to work sick as shit, but I did it because I wanted to get more pay.
For the people that are asking why is Ganja coughing, is he sick? Yes, with Kush.
Yes.
But
he's sick. He has a condition.
I have a severe chronic condition, if you will. But all right, so I gotta talk about this whole strike thing, because
you do you, bro.
Do I hate that the Biden government betrayed the working class at the last minute and didn't force the bosses to try to give some kind of a strong compromise to the union and for their members? Yes. Do I also recognize that the left, as well as the organized labor, is not prepared to take on the federal government nor the regular consumer base of America if they decide to take on the strike, if they did it? Because here's the thing. A lot of ultra-leftists and even some well-meaning progressives and people within my spectrum of the tendency, a lot of them are supporting this wildcat strike idea of the rail workers union basically brushing off tactics from the 30s and just going off against the federal governments and the Congress, against their whole compromise bill they're passing. I don't know where the fuck y'all think they got the resources to pull this shit off at. Y'all be watching way too many fucking revolutionary movies and reading way too many books that don't know what the fuck's going on in the real labor organizing front. As someone who's actually participated in a wildcat strike,
what is a wildcat strike?
A wildcat strike is one that is not approved by the National Labor Board.
Oh, okay.
And also not agreed upon between the bosses and the workers. So sometimes to go on strike, you agree with the bosses and like, hey, we're going on strike this time. We notify you. All right, cool.
Sure.
We didn't do that. We went on strike and we caught them all off guard. People legit walked off their job and joined our picket. We did shit like the 30s. So we also didn't have the federal government threatening us with arrest, detainment, and bet you believe you try to stop these rail lines from moving, the federal authorities will come in and move your asses and get those rails moving again. So unless you're ready to fight National Guards like it's a fucking Pueblo, Colorado in the 40s, or fucking Blairtown down in the South, you ain't really about that action. So I don't want to hear about you, because what you're just gonna do is get a lot of really honest working class people arrested and killed for no fucking reason, because you think that the most pure idea is to take it to the most final conclusion when no one's ready for this actual conflict. And as much as I disagree with Bernie taking the compromise route, them trying to even get the 7 days is probably the best we could hope for. And again, this is not me being like a doomist or anything. It's just I know what the real groundwork looks for a lot of this movement. And unless all these organizations that are like really talking shit about the Democratic Party, or any political organization that organizes with them or tries to get people elected into elected positions, ready to engage with the National Guard or U.S. military, I really don't want you to hear your opinion on the railroad workers going on strike to the point where they might have to even engage that type of possibility of harsh repression and brutality. Because I think a lot of y'all forget this shit ain't pretend. These are real people with real lives. And not only that, a lot of these leftists are really quick to make the American people suffer for some reason. Because it's not just the rail workers that are just going to be taking the fight to their bosses. There's a lot of important industry stuff that is shipped through rail line, medical, child care stuff that is going to get stopped, and it's going to go bad. Things are going to go horribly wrong in terms of the supply chain. And unless you have the American people behind these workers, you're just feeding them to the fucking wolves. Because the one thing American people will be pissed at is any stop of the goodies being transported over the borders.
Oh, 100%.
But you know the answer to this. The answer to this is they don't care about doing that because it doesn't affect them directly.
Well, yeah, because most of the ones that are on Twitter, they either have no access to these goodies anyway, so it doesn't affect them, or they do, and they have well-positioned lives that if there was a rail strike, they'll just pay extra for the bounty towels.
Alrighty, you guys want for more followers and viewers and all that shit? We just got to go to .com, doghype.com. Now we got to troll. I got rid of them real quick.
But that's really my point here. Is like, as much as I don't want to be the Debbie Downer about the situation, and it sounds weird coming from the most radical one in this group. Well, I mean, not lately. Alan's kind of been stealing my thunder.
For the people.
But it's not possible at this moment, y'all, and a lot of motherfuckers are coming off pretty childish with this shit, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with a lot of what you're saying, because it's like people just they want the problem solved, especially if they're not the ones that have to do anything about it. They always want the other person to be basically deal with it. Because this situation is like, oh, they clearly want better for the workers. They just don't want to have to. They don't want their lives altered in any way. And it's like, yeah, a single day, a single week. If you guys don't fucking think that will affect that much, do you remember the Suez Canal fucking situation and how quickly shit fucked up? Because somebody was just trying to fucking do
you don't
donuts.
Understand. No, Alan, you don't understand. See, that's a choke point. That's a good example, but that's not how broad of an example this is. This is going to be rails from New Jersey to New York to the southern states to the West Coast to the Midwest, all coming to a stop, son.
And I don't think people would grasp how big a problem it is, because I need you to understand, people, a lot of the stuff that gets to Canada from South America comes through U.S. rail lines, owned by U.S. companies. A lot of the products that you were able to get outside the U.S. are exported out to our ports on those rail lines. Like, this is, I got a buddy of mine who works in the railroad industry. Obviously, I'm not revealing who that is for his own protection. I will tell
Batman,
you,
isn't it?
No, it's not Batman.
Damn it.
I will say that the reason that I don't talk too much about it with him is because I know it's a dangerous situation to be in for him. Because look, much as he might want changes, if you are even heard talking about responses to this, that could be your job. Now, what's your
Shit could be
family
your
gonna do?
freedom.
Like I'm saying, like it starts with your job. So what about your family? Now imagine you have to go to jail over this.
Mm-hmm.
Not worth it, man.
Because here's the
The
thing.
worst part is
I know someone right now. They worked for SEIU and a bunch of other unions to try to organize the early cannabis industry. They're in jail for 20 years. 20 years. You know why? Because the laws weren't hammered out yet. So what the weed company and the bosses did was they were able to get the federal government to charge him on RICO laws because he was organizing illegal marijuana grows.
oh, that's fucking.
And
Oh,
it went
capitalism.
through.
Of course it did.
And this is somebody that just fights for you to get your days off, and they did that to him, y'all. Imagine if you break a pact between the Senate and the Congress and the president.
They will fucking call you a treasonous traitor, and they will execute
They
you.
will put you right next to the 1% dude.
Yeah, I want you guys to realize you have a 5-day work week as a basis for employment for 40 hours because people went to jail, were murdered, and were executed over striking.
Yep.
Like, we're a pro-union show for a reason. We understand what it took to get us to the point we are even now.
Hell, y'all help us grow. We might even get our own union going here for our own future workers.
Oh, thank God. I need like 6 sick days, like now.
You take those already. We don't even got a contract with you.
Fair enough. Yeah, but I want to get paid for it.
This motherfucker literally put request time in one time to go on a date.
Yeah?
And he got approved. So I don't want to hear shit from you.
Yeah, but I want to get paid for it.
No.
Damn it.
Look, the cause is just, but we can't compensate you for it.
Yep.
I get that at work all the time.
The cause is just. I want to go do hood rat shit with my friends. Look, your cause is justified, but we need you here.
I'm not going to say that when I need time off.
I just don't think a lot of people know the consequences of this. And the people that they want to go through this type of hardship are not the people that are, one, willing to do it, and two, they're not. I don't want to fucking throw them out like, hey, these people are sucked. You know, they're not hard or anything like that. No, these guys are railroad workers. They're probably one of the hardest working people within America. But
yeah, they're up there with longshoremen for me.
Yeah, they don't got the backing to survive the assault that would happen. And we haven't seen this type of labor assault since the 80s. So anyone in my generation or younger than Ruthless who's like saying they should wildcat strike, fuck their organized labor and all that, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunately a different situation because obviously at the end of the day, it's like if they could without having the fear of fucking everything we just said, cool, because clearly people want better, but it's like the ends don't always justify the means.
Yeah.
Because these are people's lives. And again, even if they somehow managed to pull this off and they halted, the reason I brought up the Suez Canal is because that was a choke point on the other side of the planet that slowed shit down for months. Imagine if it was homegrown, how much 10 times worse it would be. It would be a you know, like during the pandemic with shit fucking grinded to a halt and supermarkets are emptying out. Imagine that happening in like a week.
Shit, not only that, because here's the thing, you're not that pickets that are actively stopping the rail lines from moving.
Good luck.
You thought the National Guard was brutal during the George Floyd uprisings.
Yeah.
This is the entire country at stake at this point.
Yep.
Well,
I mean, to which I say, fuck it, burn, but
See, because you said that now, we're about to get visited from Officer 2456789 of the Aluminum Patrol Guard.
oh, it's fine. I'll just get a fucking flash camera. It worked on The Simpsons.
No.
mm-mm.
I don't even want to tell you why that's a bad idea.
Okay, fine. I'm just gonna I'm gonna paint my face with black and white paint to make a QR code that sends it to a porn site so it gets a virus.
Alan, no.
I'm gonna shoot it.
I see you getting shot. Especially with that whole flash camera dumb idea. Just like, hey, hello, robot.
It worked on
Ching!
The Simpsons, and they predict the future. So
Was that flash me dying?
yes.
No, it was your camera
you do the
before
flash
you died.
click. You know the whole you do the flash click. It's like, why am I in heaven? Oh shit.
You scared the police officer robot and suffered the same consequences as a scared officer that was human.
Yeah. But at least it won't get paid time off.
That is the silver lining for the state, ain't it?
Yeah. I have to say, this is... I didn't think we'd be here so fast. I thought Boston Dynamics would get us like a working Terminator first before we had this question.
Oh, they're still trying.
Not like put on a Nintendo player bot out in the streets with a gun.
No, the biggest problem that I've always had with robots is just kind of is the idea of them walking around with legs. Because I'm like, you just eat like
that's your problem.
Where am I gonna shoot them? I don't know. I'll pick
His
the
problem.
That's your problem.
His problem with robots is shooting them in the legs.
No. The problem is they're incredibly unbalanced, and it's like they'll be easy to knock down. Why do they ever go for the legs? Just anyway, which is why here, very good idea. They're gonna put them on treads. So
I also only want to see a robot and automatic thing sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg, which is why they're intelligent here because they got the wheels here. So when they're violating your civil liberties, they're doing it with tactical efficiency.
Are you making one for the government?
They already made one right there.
Are you selling it? What the fuck?
ACAB includes the movie WALL-E. Oh, speaking of this, was that fucking they're having a domestic situation and the robot comes in. I am programmed for peace. Destroy. But yeah, San Francisco pushing us to the dystopian Black Mirror episode that our world has become, has decided to just release fucking robots with a license to kill embedded in their fucking code.
So for all of you that thought Detroit would have RoboCop first, sorry, it's San Francisco.
It's because the NIMBYs are terrified.
Look, at this point, RoboCop's a documentary.
There is nothing more dangerous to American freedom and liberty than a NIMBY.
Than a what?
Yeah,
than a NIMBY. Not in my backyard, American citizen.
NIMBY.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a fictional fucking character.
They are probably the most dangerous element of the American society towards any individual freedom and democracy in this country. Yeah, I said I don't give a fuck.
I don't want to hear any bullshit.
And San Francisco is full of them.
Yep. That includes the gay ones.
Which is why it should not surprise you that Levi Strauss is from San Francisco.
Oh,
Does
yeah.
everybody know the secret about Levi Strauss?
I'm gonna assume Nazi connection.
Oh, way older than Nazis.
They were original white union.
Of course they were.
Levi Strauss, the only jean company staffed entirely by white workers.
Mm-hmm.
They used to proudly include it on their jeans.
Damn Levi's jeans. I'm glad I stopped wearing them in the early 2000s.
Congrats, folks. Your 501s are made by the KKK. Enjoy.
Yep.
Oh, that's all right. I get my shit from Goodwill. Wait till I tell you what the Salvation Army's been up to.
So,
both recently and historically.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as this story is concerned, for anybody that's crack-headed enough to be like, well, it's a robot, it has to be objective. Just leave. No. How do
we have to program the robots?
Robots can't be any more objective than that statement you just made, you dumbass.
They can't be objective. Because how does machine learning work? I have to feed it information. Guess what I am? A person with a bias.
A Watiti.
And now I'm going to feed you statistics of a primary demographic that's been causing crime.
Primordial.
Primordial.
A primordial demographic.
Primordial. No, I'm not trying to take
them back to the fucking Ezigo era and shit.
Must kill all Neanderthals. Well, that wouldn't be too bad.
It's like, and then it starts scanning and realizes what 50% Neanderthals, and we just accidentally created Skynet through law enforcement. Skynet. KCAB includes Skynet.
We're not. Hold on. Ali, we're not 50% Neanderthal. It's the lazy people we always talk about that are 50% Neanderthal.
Fair enough.
We'll be fine.
I mean,
and a hush falls over the crowd.
It still starts getting more efficient and wanting to eliminate all Neanderthals.
There's no reason the only ones that are light skinned in our audience base are Italians.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that hanged Mussolini upside down, by the way. I just want to clarify that.
Yeah.
And there are people going, wait, so who's 50% Neanderthal and more? Oh, You know you know what lazy people we're talking about. Here's a hint: we talk about them every week and call them lazy.
Yep, they might be associated with a blue bird.
You have someone out there right now who's figured out, like, man, that sounds like the 1% of media thing. No.
No. Oh, M10 knows.
Yep. But yeah, robots and law
Yeah,
enforcement.
if I'm correct, M10 is Sicilian, which makes him cool.
Oh yeah, he's fine.
Yeah,
but you know,
yeah,
other people.
It's a yeah,
like the AI that wrote Harry Potter.
Oh yeah,
trouble.
Yeah, there's no help there.
Entire worldwide phenomenon created by a robot.
I was not an AI. But they damn near stole story elements and themes from other fucking fantasy creatures.
So can I just go on a quick rant? I grew up. I love the Harry Potter books. Fantastic. Love the movies. I recently, as in maybe less than a month ago, actually went and saw the original trilogy for basically the first time, because I saw kind of parts of it in high school, but I didn't really give a shit because I was 15 years old and I wasn't gonna.
Did you figure out what the goblins are based off of?
Oh no! For Harry Potter, that I already know. I was talking about Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
so I Lord of the Rings. I obviously wasn't gonna appreciate it fucking high school because I was 15. I wasn't gonna sit there through deep, dense, fucking goddamn, Tolkien fucking lore. But 30-year-old me, fuck yeah, fucking amazing. I'm realizing how much Harry Potter just rips off wholesale the Lord of the Rings, from lighting to dialogue to every single thing about it. On top of the fact that it's I did not when it comes to the whole goblins in there. At first, I was like, what do you mean?
He somehow took Tolkien and made him more racist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was just like, no, because I remember the first time I heard about because I read them, oh, the goblins, whatever. I didn't think that big of a deal. And then someone's like, oh, they're based on the Jewish people. I'm like, no, they're not. They're just the bankers and the gold. And oh no, oh god, get it worse because they're so petty and shitty in that. There's they are the pettiest. The book's narration shows them as money hungry, petty, and don't understand ownership.
I wonder if he who should not be named is a big fan of the Harry Potter series.
Well, considering he's the main character as the big bad.
Never did either of those. I had to read 1984, and I fucking hate that book.
No.
Oh man, are you kidding? I love 1984. It showed me exactly how racist white people could be.
Yep.
Yeah. I also have to read The Great Gatsby. That book fucking sucks.
All right, so since we're
okay, can I just say this is a weird moment because I'm of an old enough generation that we didn't have to read The Great Gatsby, but we had to read Catcher in the Rye.
Oh god, that was a year before me. I almost read that fucking book.
Legit.
And so we didn't. Well, all right, we had to read Romeo and Juliet, but not Othello. Yeah. And then our teacher, my freshman year of high school, was cool. Shout out to Miss Flowers. She's dope. So after we got done reading Romeo and Juliet, she's like, "Hey, we're gonna watch the movie." So we watched the Baz Luhrmann. Yes, we watched Baz Luhrmann's Romeo plus Juliet right after, and we had to write a paper about where because we watched both movies, the original, the old school classic Romeo and Juliet that's done classic style, and then that one, and we had to write the differences between the three things. So
I don't know. One has guns.
Yeah, I just want to say real quick, since we kind of gone off the topic here, and are talking about
I'll bring it back, but keep going.
Artists and stuff. I have to add one since we brought up 1984. If you're a fan of George Orwell, I implore you to look up his opinions on the great and powerful Paul Robeson and what he wrote to the British MI6 on his opinions on Paul Robeson's opinions on Black liberation. If you can get back to me on that, I would like to hear your opinions on it. And second of all, he was a snitch. No respect for George. He would have worked for the secret police. He already did it for the British Crown.
Oh, if we're calling out author, I'll be real here. Look, I don't care what flack I get for this. To Kill a Mockingbird is a piece of shit. It's just white. It's just fucking white guilt in a fucking book. It's just as bad as any one of those fucking movies that's like, oh, look how bad it was for black people during this time, but it's not really saying or doing anything. It's just guilting you so you can think this is deeper than it actually is. Atticus Finch was a bitch.
Also, one more.
What?
Fuck it. We here. Taxi Cab is shot well. It's really just a story of an incel. I'm sorry, y'all. I watched
Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver, yes.
I was like, Taxi Cab. Is he in the TV show?
No, Taxi Driver. Yeah, it's really just a story of an incel, y'all.
Yeah.
The man is literally mad these women have sex. Get the fuck out of here.
That was every horror movie icon.
This is deep. This shows how bad America is. No, this just shows how sexually repressed you are. But I want a nut.
Yeah, no worries over, bro.
And the movie's over, but that's never over in my head. That should have me pissed besides the cinematography.
You brought it up. Do you want to get into Orwell's List?
Orwell's List?
Orwell's List?
Well, you brought
the other bullshit he
no. Orwell had a list of people that he gave up as being read in to the House American Activities Committee as well as to the British Crown.
You got to give it to us. Who's on there?
All right, we'll start with the kind of more obvious sets of ones. Alex Comfort, the pacifist writer. Nancy Kennard, the heiress to the Kennard family. Katharine Hepburn. Yes, that Katharine Hepburn.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Yeah. Harold Lasky, the economist. Cecil Day Lewis, the poet. Alan Nunn May, the scientist. Sean O'Casey, playwright. Paul Robeson. George Bernard Shaw, who I know people know. John Steinbeck.
John Stamos.
Randall Swingler, the poet. A.J.P. Taylor, the historian. Orson Welles.
Orson Welles?
Yeah.
He was way too drunk to fucking do anything.
That's because he saw what the Soviet Union turned into. He lost hope.
Yeah. Solly Zuckerman. All right, now we get to others. We got Edgar Young, military officer. Leonard Schiff, the clergyman. Padar O'Donnell, Irish socialist. George McLeod, writer and theater director. All right, these are MPs that he gave for the labor movement. Bessie Braddock, Tom Dryburgh, Michael Foote, John Platts Mills, Stephen Swingler. All right, British actors. Charlie Chaplin, of course.
He was.
Michael Redgrave, Vanessa's father.
Ooh. Damn, we call that. No, that explains the kids in 1984 calling out their parents for chocolate.
Yeah. All right, so here's the other sets of scientists and academics. Patrick Blackett, physicist. Gordon Child, archaeologist. John McMurray, the philosopher. Tibor Mendy, the foreign affairs analyst. J.G. Grouther, the Guardian's first science correspondent. That's the Guardian that's in the British paper, the Guardian. Needless to say, the list of journalists and writers is extremely long, and we're not going to do it here. But it's crazy long.
Fucking Tekashi 6ix9ine is jealous of this motherfucker. Like, damn, he ratted out everybody.
He ratted out everybody.
Man, my mailman.
Some of those people weren't actually communists. They were just like, hey, man, we should have like a nicer society.
Well, of course that means communist.
Man, and yes, hold on. Empton is right. Michael Myers was just mad because his sister had sex. That's really what happened.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't explain the thousands of people he didn't murder.
He was like, that was my pussy. Dun, dun, dun.
Look, that makes more sense than Rob Zombie's Halloween. The original Halloween, you don't really get any real context. He just kind of kills her.
No, you get context. You see her making out with the dude and having sex with him in the house.
Yeah, but you never really see the
and
kid,
Michael seeing it happen. Yeah, he sees it happen.
Yeah, but that can be inferred, but the kid's face never really shows it. Because when you see his face in there, he just looks scared.
What do you expect him to do? Look like Forrest Gump when his mom was banging the principal?
No, it was just like, go sit there and tell me what happened. It's like, give me something more going on there.
That'd be hilarious. But I said I was going to bring this back around to this. So these are the people that we hold up in our society. And these are also the people that get to be in charge, which means that cities like San Francisco, these hypocrites, are here programming. And what we found out is apparently this is less RoboCop and more those GTA RC car missions where you're just driving the car and kill people. Yeah. So yeah,
they got lazier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it also, again, it does make sense because at the end of the day, it's like, especially with the RoboCop reboot, the biggest problem with that was actually identifying criminals or just being able to deal with that kind of shit. It's a very difficult thing to identify a criminal, which is why you have to feed it some sort of statistics or some sort of stuff to judge whether or not something's a crime or not. You need a personal touch for that because at the end of the day, Jaywalking is a crime. So is littering. So is hanging out in
Yes.
the no loitering zone.
The
Does it mean
proportionality
a
of
robot
force.
could differentiate between just kind of letting it go versus hauling him off to jail?
Well, that's kind of the reason why you need humans involved, but we need better training for those humans because, as I was going to say, the problem is not that they use force. The problem is that they are disproportionately using force to the crimes being committed. That's what it is.
Robots are not going to differentiate between that. They're going to basically be like, hey, this is a crime, therefore I'm going to deal with it in the way it says in the book. Because then they're going to sit there and be like, well, what's the programming? What do I do? They're like, well, fuck, you're a robot. Most people are going to run away. So it's like, oh, hey, as soon as someone runs away, shoot them. It's like, well, fuck. A lot of people, especially the first time, are like, it's a robot. I'll take my goddamn chances until they get shot by the fucking robot. So we're just going to use lethal force. Like, for people that don't know this, a cop's job is not to really pass judgment on your crime or to kill you. In fact,
the other reason they're allowed to carry guns in the U.S. is because they were originally trying to capture slaves that were running away. It stayed on because criminals were able to carry guns with no impunity, and so that's why the cops have them. If you look at other countries, the reason that those cops don't carry guns is that most of the time they're not arresting people for crimes that are in the commission of the act. It's for after the act is over.
Yeah, cops. By the way, let's say cops.
But they know how to whoop your ass another way.
Yeah.
Cops do not stop crime. They react.
I have no problem with cops carrying batons. I really don't. Hell, they can wear the riot gear the whole time for all I fucking care. But I do have a problem with, their ability to just shoot whoever. I'm okay with them carrying fucking tasers, man. You know why? Because to carry a taser, you have to be tased first. So if all they had were tasers, I'd be okay with that.
Because they all got hit at one point.
Tasers are should not be classified as non-lethal.
Well, I'm not saying that they're not non-lethal.
But even that, it's like, I don't know.
The possibility of a cop killing you with a taser is really more to do with your personal physical condition and less to do with the actual taser itself.
But my issue with it is that if we start to classify tasers as a lethal weapon, then we're less likely to use it because it'd be required as lethal force. Yes, it won't necessarily kill you, but no, I get what you mean. But the thing is, if they are given tasers instead of weapons, they're going to use the tasers more often because they feel like they can. That's my problem too, because I don't want to see fucking young kids getting tasered because it's technically
don't tase me, bro. Don't tase me.
Would you rather have? Would you rather have the young kid getting shot by the cop who actually didn't do anything, or the young kid getting tased by the cop who actually didn't do anything? And the answer is going to always be the taser.
100%, but it's like
proportionality needs to be a thing. You can't take away any ability for them to disarm a subject. So I would rather them have an option that will not immediately, barring other situations in the environment, cause the death of said person.
I mean, they already have a way to disarm people.
If you want to do a full disarmament, it's going to require a full disarmament of the American society, and that shit ain't happening.
No, you already have a way. The Republicans talk about all the time. Just pull yourself up by your bootstraps and figure it out. I'm sorry, it's not my job to do a cop's job. My taxes pay for your job. My opinion of you is irregardless because of the fact that my taxes are not my choice. So my opinion of you doing your job should not matter to you doing it. And your ability to do so should not be my responsibility because my taxes, I don't get to choose what goes where. Therefore, you do not get to judge my disapproval, or you don't get to judge my opinion of you because nobody has a choice in this matter.
So you're right, Alan. You're right. You're 100% right. But an Americop would have stopped whooping your ass halfway through that speech.
Cool. Yeah, cool. You are bad at your job. Thank you for proving that.
You're not wrong.
Like, a fucking teacher being bad at their job gets fired. A cop being bad at their job gets promoted.
But look, the main issue is when it comes to police officers. What do you say?
What's up?
You see what you just said.
So remember the Uvalde situation where the shooter was barricaded and the cops sat outside and did nothing? Yeah, their solution was, hey, let's go get this EOD robot the army made. Let's strap a shotgun or bomb to it. Fuck.
A bomb.
Let's just blow them the
fuck
fuck
them
out.
kids.
Like we're playing a fucking Counter-Strike fucking game. Like, Jesus Christ.
Well, speaking of the police officers continue the trend of fuck them kids, Edmonton, you gave us some shocking further ACAB news today for our segment.
Hey, man, there's a reason this.
Bro, grand jury indicts former San Antonio police officer accused of shooting unarmed teen.
Yeah. I'm glad to see they're finally going to
Give
jail for
them
this
like a
shit.
water gun, but like it's hot water.
No.
No.
So I'm just sick of this every fucking day, man. Like,
Well, this is the reason it's ACAB week.
yeah, fucking ACAB for life. Fuck that. I'm also going to rename the title midway through this shit. ACAB is a lifestyle.
Hey, afternoon tune. We don't mention that name here.
Yeet.
Yeah, we that name has been barred from our show due to the fact that it's clearly a shit show in
Wait, hey, you're from Chicago, aren't you, man? Go get your boy.
Look, Chicago did what Canada did to Drake. They have cleared their hands.
We got the fuck rid of him. Drake also forgot we existed.
He did. He started claiming everywhere else but Canada.
Yeah, because he's a bitch.
He really has claimed everywhere else. Atlanta, Houston, LA for some reason.
New York.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to claim Hollywood, though. Hollywood, Florida represented. 954. One day that'll mean something ruthless. One day.
Oh.
Well, I try to mix it up a little bit. I don't know what to tell y'all, but
yeah.
This is the one that we've read a story about in which the officer that is now being pursued by this grand jury, his hiring police chief made this chance to use this incident as well as other incidents to bash the diversity hiring program of the police officers in San Antonio, and saying that they, due to defund the police efforts, which, by the way, y'all, look those up. Those are bare minimum, and if they exist at all in any of your cities, counties, or local municipalities, if they even happen on any kind of...
He didn't have a defund the police protest in his city.
He didn't.
What about the wokeness? Was woke involved in
Yes.
all of this?
Yes.
Fuck.
The problem is we're not hiring enough good white officers here at San Antonio, and we're forced to do diversity hiring, in which we hire people of less quality, color.
Yep.
Drake is from Jamaica. What is Drake, Carmen San Diego?
Where in the world is Drake from?
And is he talking to underage girls?
Yes. But fortunately for him, he's now claiming a part of the country that allows that type of behavior.
And he's
like the beautiful county of San Antonio.
And he's been the new R. Kelly. Y'all don't want to talk about that shit because you like his fucking songs.
Yo, we really got to talk about that one day.
Yeah.
We should. I would say right now, but we have a more important topic of, like, basically, he's basically blaming the fact that he has to hire diversity, which, for anyone that knows that, that's basically a racist dog whistle, because you often see when anyone talk about any sort of fucking Marvel or adaptation, it's like, oh, it's a diversity hire.
If a lazy American is talking about diversity, they either have a fetish or they are mad that they can't be racist in their hiring. Yeah. And y'all know who the lazy Americans we're talking about are.
100%. And it's a fucking situation where it's like they're saying the only reason this person, like in two cases with movies and adaptations, Netflix especially, like the only reason they got this job was because their skin tone is darker than the average fucking, the quote unquote the default fucking character, which is a white Christian male that's straight. Anything that's deviating from that is diversity hire. Because these are the same fucking people that are like, oh, the best person for the job should get the fucking job. Even though that's literally, that has been a fucking fallacy for like 100 fucking years. That has never been the fucking case. If objectivity is the reason that you got a fucking job, your resume, you would never have to do an interview. The interviews would not exist. You would just hand in your resume. You'd be like, here's my work experience. Here are my fucking skills. Do you want me or not? Okay, cool. We bing, bang, boom, computer, cool. You're hired. No, the reason they fucking get an interview for you, this applies from law enforcement to any fucking job you're going to get, is because they want to see if you are aesthetically pleasing. Not necessarily just are you white, because we've seen people with different hairstyles. I'm a guy with long fucking hair that for a long time that wasn't allowed. Anyone that has any fucking tattoos that are somewhat fucking visible. If you're anything darker than me and you have a cultural hairstyle or a hijab or anything that would do that, you would basically be like, no, that is not aesthetically pleasing. So it didn't matter your merits, it didn't matter your job experience. You know, even being able to speak English. Luckily, even though technically English is my second language, I speak it pretty goddamn fucking well. I can't spell for shit, but that's irrelevant in this conversation.
No, that's very relevant for this conversation and future
It's not.
post.
But also,
yeah.
while we're on this, Empton also mentioned that you have this article mixed up with the Maryland sheriff.
Oh,
The
okay.
Maryland sheriff is the
Maryland
one with the
sheriff.
deputy. That's the one with the deputy has 50 counts of sexual assault and was being called a diversity hire. This is a separate one that we covered
Well,
weeks
ladies
ago.
and gentlemen, this is your boy Ganja Grew, and I can't help not fucking up through at least one point in the show.
Well, hey, this was not your fault because we did cover this story. It's just it was weeks ago when we first found out about this, the unarmed teen being shot by San Antonio police, and then of course had the protest because the officer hadn't been charged, and now he's been indicted.
So I want to shout out to our Jamie here at the Illuminati Podcast, M10. Thank you for keeping us updated, keeping us fact-checked. I appreciate it, sir.
And look, to keep it with ACAB week, cops just break into people's houses and forget and get the wrong houses all the time. So we're just kind of, role playing.
Look.
Yeah,
If they didn't
the
fit,
wrong people all the time.
if this officer didn't fit the profile, I wouldn't be making assumptions. I'm sorry,
That's so well. That was fucking perfect.
I know, thank you. I worked hard on it for like 5 seconds, but moving on to others.
Wait. Okay, before you move on, can I just point out that on the side of this, there's a FedEx driver accused of confessing to abducting and killing a 7-year-old girl, and El Salvador sending 10,000 police to lock down a town. That's nuts.
For people who are wondering why we're not covering those two stories, there's a lot of news out there.
Oh, or how about the one in between that I actually tweeted? The new B-21 stealth bomber revealed. I'm like, hey, how many civilian casualties is this going to kill?
Yeah. Also, this week's other title is basically just update week because we have lots of updates.
Hell yeah. That's going to be like the last half of the show, but it's like, yeah, like, again, we're going to focus on this story. We're going to continue to talk about the diversity stuff.
Oh, no, we can go on with that diversity hire story because that's what we thought we were talking about here anyway. But yeah.
Yeah. But to bring it back, it's like, yeah, it's always been about aesthetics. It's always been about how well can you be put, especially for anyone that's ever worked cashier. It has nothing to do with it has almost nothing to do with your actual ability because most of the time you'll be trained on site. It has everything to be how well aesthetically can you look. Like night shift people, I guess technically don't have to deal with that shit because no one ever fucking sees them. But like for people that have to work cashier, especially if you're a woman, and it's like, well, you have to make sure you're aesthetically pleasing to anyone that's doing it, especially if you work in any sort of Sephora or any sort of makeup thing. Like there's a reason they look like that. And be like, a lot of people will choose to look like that, but it's also for their jobs. We knew somebody that worked
dropped his favorite brand. He will take you shopping to Sephora's.
Yes, I will. No, we just knew somebody that worked there, and like specifically, like the color pants she wore had to be specific to the company's demands. Because guess what? That's what they needed. They don't. Again, this whole diversity hire. This was invented by white people to be wondering why they're not getting every job they fucking go for, and they're seeing anybody that doesn't look as white as the driven snow fucking getting the jobs. Like, oh, the only reason there is because they want to be fucking woke and unique. It's like, no. Even if that is a goddamn fucking case, the reason they're not getting that goddamn fucking jobs is because society decided in 1939 this is what a fucking worker looked like, and anybody else just didn't get the fucking jobs. So if we got a fucking, you guys like licking boots so much, why don't you put it to the corporation's necks? Because this is what you have to do sometimes to get people to actually get the fucking jobs. Because guess what? Just because they're diversity hire does not mean they're bad at their fucking jobs.
Well, this is what I keep talking about, man. Our HR meetings, motherfucker keeps stealing my goddamn lines.
I know.
They're my lines too, motherfucker.
I mean, you fellas can hash it out in the upcoming HR meeting, but
Look, there's a reason why we switch between who has whose face on. Me, I'm throwing my voice to sound like Anja.
There we go.
Look,
I'll also be
50 count indictment. 50 count indictment.
50 count. Fuck.
5 total victims. 9 counts of full-on first-degree rape.
Wait, part with raping women in custody hit 50 count indictment. So wait, does that mean he raped each of them 10 times?
No, it means that he did all those rapes plus a bunch of lesser included charges.
That add on to that encounters.
I thought that man was just the worst serial rapist in the world. Fuck.
I mean, essentially, yeah.
No, there's a guy with 200 victims.
Okay, if they try to kill me. Remember this podcast was 3 different perspectives, and now it's just ruthless stuck into 2 commies. Hey, I have never claimed I will never be communist.
You're on your way. You just give in.
I believe in everything they stand for, but I think the idea of having multiple people fucking come to a decision is fucking stupid. I think it should just be one fucking person.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
my
told this
point
to
right there.
Gaja.
We're two more seasons away from Stalin was right from Alan.
No.
Yeah, he's gonna be there. He is gonna be there.
I told Gaja I will join your people on one condition: make me the leader.
So again, my
Say no.
point.
Like we said, you're about 2 seasons away from saying Stalin was right.
Well, I said, man, this Stalin guy, man, he's kind of just misunderstood.
I mean,
Uh,
Leon Trotsky was working with the Nazis. Oh god, oh shit, Alan going deeper than I am.
The Vanguard. And Ted's like, let me introduce you to the Vanguard Party.
It's
What's
dope.
his opinion on the Passport Bros? After she's asking a question, I'm not sure what the Passport Bros are.
Why is he the only person that calls me Wonder instead of Ruthless? This is ridiculous.
Is it not spelled Ruthless?
Possibly. So here's the thing about Passport Bros. Now, we'll do this to transition to the next topic.
Sure.
There's nothing wrong with it. The majority of Passport Bros, quote unquote, are just men who have a particular predilection when it comes to dating. They're looking for kind of that late 90s, early 2000s style of traditional relationship. And they realize that they aren't really into the more progressive approach to dating that the modern social construct of dating has become. I don't think there's anything wrong with that initially. The problem comes in where there are Passport Bros that are using it as a sounding board to be misogynistic to women, particularly Black women. And that's more of a trying to find a new niche away from traditional quote unquote red pill. It's the same problem that I have with the divestors. The divestors are, if y'all recall, those are the Black women that refuse to date Black men anymore. Will only date white men now because Black men are the problem. Whatever. The Passport Bros aren't as far off as the divestors. They will still date Black women. They just won't date American women in general. And to somebody who is looking for a traditional relationship, again, something more 90s, 2000s relationship wise, I can understand the desire to find that. And if you have the money to go elsewhere to do so, just listen, I don't know how to say this more simply than like I am right now. Most of the ones that you see with full-on YouTube channels, the ones that have podcasts, here, look, the guy that's like, I'm a Passport Bro, I'm moving to Colombia, or I'm moving to Costa Rica, or I'm moving to Thailand, or I'm moving to Bali, and I'm never coming back. That's not the guy you need to worry about. The guy that's like, I'm moving to Nigeria, I'm moving to Ivory Coast, I'm moving to Poland, I'm moving all these places. Those are not the guys you got to worry about. And I want to say this very clearly. It's the guy who's still in America who only goes on vacation to these places that are the problem. The problem with the mail order brides, and I think they'll tell you the same way I will. The problem with the mail order bride is, one, you have the high possibility of being scammed.
Yeah.
The other part about that
Why
is,
you say yeah like you ordered one?
Well, no, I just know what it's That's not it.
You said
it makes sense.
You motherfucker said yeah like he got a bad order.
Like got one, I think, but he made a mistake and got a bird instead.
Yeah, the problem with mail order brides is that, like, you're essentially helping with sex trafficking. And so, like I said, I want to say this straight to camera. So let me come back on camera, despite the fact that I'm hurting right now. Look, there are guys with YouTube channels who are Passport Bros. If they didn't leave the country and stay out of the country, do not listen to a word they said. Because what they're really doing is they're going and being sex tourists. They're going to these countries, abusing their difference in monetary value of the dollar versus the local currency to pick up women in desperate situations. And like, I don't know how to call somebody a sex tourist better than that, other than they're a pedo that does the same thing. There are men who have gone to these other countries to live and move there, who have died by unfortunately being targeted by people in the local population. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the ones that are going. You hear them always say, I'm going to Costa Rica for the next couple months, or I'm going here because the women are better. They're going to these countries because our dollar and even the Canadian dollar,
Yeah.
usually it's 2, 3, or 4 to 1 to the local currency for that nation. And they're using that to act like they're a baller on the level of the rappers and athletes and other celebrities so they can pull the women that they can't pull here in the US. There's nothing wrong with finding love with somebody whose style of relationship matches yours. There's nothing wrong with that. There is a problem when you're using your ability to manipulate somebody else because you're in a more financially advantageous position. And that goes for men and women.
Rufus
Because
got a point.
the same people that talk bad on Passport Bros will tell you how much they want to trap some dude who's a quote high value man making more than $100,000 a year. The thing about six-figure income is if you aren't a white male, that is 10% of the population in the US. If you're a white male, it's 20%. There's a lot, the average guy, and I'm saying this because honestly, I'm pissed off about the problems that the average guy is having in this country. And I'm not talking, this is irrespective of race. And this is irrespective of sexual orientation. You make $45,000 to $65,000 a year, or even less than that. And you can't find somebody because the women that you like, for some reason, only want guys that make 2 to 3 times as much as you do. I'm gonna tell you right now, you can find a woman who makes no qualms about liking somebody with your work ethic, with your salary, and it's in your tax bracket. But you got to stop doing the same thing she's doing. She's hunting ballers and you're hunting baddies. Stop it. When you stop that, this will go away. But for those of you that want to skip the country because you have other issues related to being in America, shut up about it. Tell the men that want to know about it, and otherwise do what you're planning to do. Look, I haven't get a chance to go to Nigeria yet. Seen some beautiful women from there. Haven't had a chance to go to some of the countries that I want to go to. Can't wait to go visit. But it doesn't mean I'm going to now say every woman from America or the West in general is useless and is money hungry. It's just not true. So I'm glad you brought that up, African Tune. I'm glad you brought that part up because people like Andrew Tate and the Passport Bros with their approach to this thing annoy me because they're only telling half of the story. It's not that Kevin Samuels was right or wrong. Kevin Samuels was a very conservative black man. He wanted to rebuild black families in a conservative, traditional mindset. And so all of his advice, dating and lifestyle wise, came out of that. So if you disagree with him on that stance of being traditional and conservative, then you disagree with him. Now, you want to get into his delivery, that's a whole other discussion.
Yeah.
So Rufus is showing me the point. Alan.
I mean, I'll be real. I kind of like the progressive women nowadays.
I was about to say, Alan, I'm coming up to Canada because I need a progressive woman from a first world nation that's got the same economic value as me. All right, I'm gonna do it bigger then. All right, I got you. I'm gonna do the opposite of that.
I like the progressive women. I like the women that can stand up for themselves. That can talk shit. That won't let fucking people. That won't put up with anyone else's fucking bullshit. I fucking love that shit.
I mean, my thing is, you need to be progressive enough to communicate. There are obviously certain appetites and lifestyles I belong to that it gets really annoying when I have to deal with the church mouse shy girl that doesn't want to talk about what she wants.
Consent is key.
Yeah, 100%. But it's like at the end of the day,
is key.
Honestly,
I can't ask you to consent to something that I don't know that you like or dislike.
Oh, 100%. But it's like, yeah, I'm talking about personal dating friends. It's like, yeah, fuck it. Be honest. Be straightforward. Don't put up my bullshit. I won't. Yeah.
Alan, since I don't got any more stories lined up unless you gentlemen got anything you want me to pull up as far as we got for the lineup. And I think that was a great way to end off on some healthy advice for the gentlemen out there that are watching the show. So I got to ask you, Alan, when you're not helping me find a way to Canada to live my dreams, where can we find you?
In the grave, where I will be until I am recovered and rise to dawn the new age of man. Oh, you'll just find me on Twitter yelling, mostly, and then you'll find me on the chat tag implying I don't die in the next 12 hours.
Ruthless, when you want to be found, particularly possibly in Nigeria, how do you want people to find you?
So here's the thing. On Tuesdays, you can find me on TikTok doing Toxic Orgy Tuesdays. apparently now followed by Progressively Toxic, right here on Twitch, with my co-host, the Ganja Guru.
Hello. We stay
so,
progressive, but you know, sometimes we talk a little shit.
So, you know, the thing is, you can find me most social media as The Ruthless Wonder, except for places like Twitter where I have to unfortunately modify the tag. It's The Ruthless, the number 1 DER. That's The Ruthless, the number 1 DER. But everywhere you look for The Ruthless Wonder, you'll find me: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, coming soon to Hive Social and Mastodon, and of course, like I said, Twitter. So yeah, we'll see you.
And you can find me, the Great Ganja Guru, of course, on my Twitter at Red Ganja Guru, posting all types of stuff, sharing all types of party stuff, specifically, you know, from the left wing politics point of view. And of course, like my co-host here, go find me on the chat tag almost every day of the week, between Monday till Sunday, and sometimes even on a mysterious 6th or 8th day that we don't know of yet. So I'll let you know when we pop up. Just give it a follow. We'll pop up.
Create an 8th day, just fuck up the entire Julian calendar.
Yeah. That's the power of double toasted. But
that's a kind of fuck you. How far back before woke media just does that?
With that being said, Ruthless.
You've been watching the Illuminati Podcast. We are in control. See you next time. Bye-bye.